The beauty industry is scamming women over 60, and I can prove it. 10 retinol creams sitting on pharmacy shelves right now are engineered to fail through packaging that destroys the active ingredient, concentrations so weak they're homeopathic, or delivery vehicles catastrophically wrong for mature skin. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which products are scams and the 10 evidence-based alternatives dermatologists actually recommend. Every scam paired with a solution. I've spent 3 years tracking down the clinical studies the beauty industry hopes you never read. What you're about to see is backed by published research, not marketing claims. Let's expose them. 1. Olay Regenerist. $35 for a jar you open every single night, destroying the one ingredient that's supposed to save your skin. Olay knows exactly what happens when retinol meets oxygen and light, but they're betting you don't. Olay Regenerist Retinol 24-night moisturizer comes in an open jar, and that packaging choice is a fundamental failure. Retinol is highly susceptible to photooxidation and thermal degradation. Every time you unscrew that lid, you introduce light and oxygen that render the active ingredient biologically inert. The company understands this chemistry perfectly, yet they chose jar packaging because women over 60 prefer thick textures. What you're actually buying is a basic emollient once the retinol has oxidized. By week 3, most of the retinol activity has vanished. You're massaging a pleasant-feeling moisturizer into your face while believing you're stimulating collagen production. $34.99 for 50 milliliters, for an ingredient that self-destructs with every use. But open jar packaging isn't even the worst packaging failure you'll see today. One budget favorite literally destroys itself with every single use. $23, an opaque pump bottle and proprietary slow-release technology that actually protects retinol from degradation. CeraVe understood what Olay ignored. Packaging determines whether retinol survives. CeraVe Skin. Renewing retinol serum costs $22.97 and uses an opaque pump bottle to maintain ingredient integrity. The company developed multivesicular emulsion technology, a slow-release delivery system that releases encapsulated retinol over 12 to 24 hours, minimizing the retinol burn common in mature skin. What makes this intelligent for women over 60 is what surrounds that retinol. 3 essential ceramides that repair your moisture barrier, hyaluronic acid to bind water into the epidermis, and niacinamide to calm inflammation. You're simultaneously signaling cell turnover while rebuilding the protective structure that deteriorates after menopause. CeraVe is what happens when pharmaceutical scientists design retinol delivery instead of marketing executives. At less than half the price of Olay, you're getting stable activities that survive until they touch your skin. If exposing these scams and showing you what actually works is valuable to you, subscribe to this channel. Every week, I break down the beauty industry's deceptions so you can protect your skin and your wallet. 2. Sunday Riley. 6.5% solution screams from the label, promising medical-grade power. But Sunday Riley is gambling that you won't understand the difference between a raw material complex and actual retinol. Sunday Riley Plus high-dose retinoid serum costs $85, and that prominent 6.5% claim is engineered to mislead. This percentage doesn't represent pure retinol, it represents the weight of a pre-mixed raw material complex. Independent analysis reveals the truth. Approximately 0.2% pure retinol and 0.5% hydroxypinocolone retinoate. For women over 60 seeking high-potency solutions for deep forehead furrows and nasolabial folds, this marketing tactic is particularly cruel. You see that 6.5% and assume medical-grade concentration. Instead, you're receiving medium-strength formulation at a luxury markup. $85 for diluted activities wrapped in impressive vocabulary. And if you think 6.5% math is deceptive, wait until you see the product that claims to boost vitamin A while containing 0 vitamin A. While Sunday Riley hides behind misleading math, Paula's Choice does something revolutionary. They publish the actual concentration. 1% pure retinol, no complexes, no deception. Paula's Choice. Clinical 1% retinol treatment costs $61.75, and that transparency is radical in an industry built on proprietary blends. This is true 1% pure retinol. That concentration matters profoundly because your epidermal turnover rate has slowed to 60 days or more, compared to 28 days in your 20s. Formula uses silicone emulsification for controlled release, meaning the retinol penetrates gradually. Surrounding that 1% are peptides that support skin structure and oat extract to increase tolerance. This is what the beauty industry looks like when someone actually cares about your results more than their margins. Paula Bader built a brand on transparency because she was tired of watching women get deceived. $61.75 for honest potency and proven results. 3. La Mer. $200 per ounce for fermented sea kelp and an origin story. La Mer built an empire on the miracle broth, but dermatologists have been quietly saying for decades, this emperor wears mineral oil and petroleum, nothing more. Crème de la Mer costs $200 per ounce, and that price rests on a carefully constructed narrative about a healing cream from fermented algae. The miracle broth is primarily mineral oil and petrolatum, ingredients that cost pennies per gallon. These seal moisture into the skin, but do nothing to rebuild the collagen and elastin scaffolding that collapses as you age. The formula contains no retinoids, no peptides at meaningful concentrations, nothing that signals your fibroblasts to produce new structural proteins. What you're buying is heritage, prestige, and psychological comfort. $200 per ounce for mineral oil wrapped in mythology. But $300 isn't the most expensive scam on this list. The final luxury trap costs even more and rests entirely on a complex that has zero independent validation. SkinCeuticals is what dermatologists reach for when La Mer fails their patients. Aluminum tubes, airtight caps, third-party clinical trials. This is pharmaceutical-grade retinol that actually penetrates skin to stimulate collagen. SkinCeuticals. Retinol 0.3 costs $80, making it 60% cheaper than La Mer while delivering proven cellular transformation. The company packages this in aluminum tubes with airtight caps to prevent oxidation. The 0.3% concentration is specifically recommended by experts like Dr. Hauschmand as a starter strength for mature skin. Women over 60 face a dangerous paradox. You need retinol's collagen-stimulating power, but your thinned skin barrier makes you vulnerable to inflammatory cycles that lead to persistent redness and post-inflammatory pigmentation. 0.3% delivers genuine anti-aging benefits while minimizing damage risk. Unlike La Mer's origin story, SkinCeuticals conducts independent third-party clinical trials, proving their retinol penetrates the stratum corneum to stimulate collagen synthesis. $80 for pharmaceutical-grade formulation with decades of evidence, or $200 for fermented algae mythology. Drop a comment and tell me, which of these scams shocked you the most? Was it the $200 mineral oil or the math deception? 4. Il Makiage wrinkles vanishing in seconds on viral videos. It looks like magic. But Il Makiage is selling you something even more temporary than makeup. It's makeup pretending to be skincare, and it washes off with your hope. Il Makiage Power Redo Wrinkle Fix has generated millions of views, showing women watching their under-eye bags and forehead lines seemingly disappear within moments. The transformation appears miraculous until you understand the mechanism. Heavy silicones and light-reflecting minerals that create an optical blur over your wrinkles. The formula may contain trace retinol, but at concentrations so negligible, they provide zero therapeutic benefit. What you're experiencing is a sophisticated cosmetic trick, a temporary film that fills textured skin and bounces light away from shadowed creases. The effect lasts a few hours, and the moment you cleanse your face, every wrinkle returns exactly as it was. Il Makiage targets women over 60 desperate for an instant fix, who want to believe that decades of photoaging can vanish in seconds. This is makeup masquerading as skincare, creating dependency on hours of illusion rather than months of transformation. While Il Makiage offers hours of illusion, Medic 8 delivers something real, retinaldahhide, sitting just one conversion step from retinoic acid. It's 11 times faster acting than traditional retinol without the burn. Medic 8 Crystal Retinol 1 costs $58.50, and the active ingredient is retinaldahhide, retinol's more sophisticated cousin. Traditional retinol requires 2 biochemical conversion steps before becoming retinoic acid, the form your skin cells actually recognize. Retinaldahhide sits just one step away, converting more efficiently and working 11 times faster with significantly less irritation. For women over 60 whose skin has become increasingly reactive, this conversion efficiency is transformative. The retinaldahhide is double encapsulated, releasing gradually throughout the night to protect delicate mature skin from inflammation and peeling. The serum has won over 30 global awards for producing visible glow and firmness through legitimate biological signaling, not optical trickery. $58.50 for transformation that builds over months, not cosmetic blur that washes away within hours. We've exposed 5 scams so far, but the next 5 get progressively worse. One contains a concentration so low it's essentially placebo. Another uses a vehicle that actually accelerates aging, and one hijacks clean beauty trends to sell literally nothing. 5. First $18 seems reasonable until you discover you're paying for 0.003% retinol, a concentration so negligible it's essentially homeopathic. This is angel dusting, and it's counting on you not reading the fine print. Versed Gentle Retinol Serum costs $17.99, masking a deception the beauty industry has perfected, adding trace amounts of trending ingredients just to list them on the label. Angel dusting means including an active at such minimal concentration that it provides no therapeutic effect. 0.003% retinol cannot stimulate collagen production or accelerate cell turnover. For women over 60, this concentration is catastrophically inadequate. Your fibroblast activity has already diminished significantly. These cells produce collagen, elastin, and the structural proteins that keep skin firm. Stimulating compromised fibroblasts requires therapeutic doses proven to generate biological response. 0.003% is effectively inert. Versed prominently displays retinol on the packaging while burying the actual concentration. $17.99 for label claims, zero biological response. Roche understood what Versed ignored. 0.1% retinol isn't just a number. It's the threshold between theatrical claims and clinical transformation. And they sealed it in single-use capsules to keep it fresh until the moment it touches your skin. Roche Retinol Correction Night Serum capsules cost $23.72 for a clinically proven 0.1% retinol concentration, significantly more potent than angel-dusted versions. Each capsule is hermetically sealed, meaning the retinol inside remains completely protected from oxygen and light until you twist it open. Retinol degrades within days when exposed to air repeatedly, but sealed capsules preserve full potency. The formula includes ceramides that repair moisture barriers, while the retinol stimulates cellular renewal. The combination addresses pigmentary changes that 64% of postmenopausal women experience as hormonal shifts affect melanin distribution. Dermatologists recommend ROC for beginners who need effectiveness without the instability that plagues budget serums. $23.72 for proven therapeutic concentration in protected packaging. Now, the next scam isn't just wasteful, it's dangerous. Dermatologists have seen women whose skin aged faster because of this vehicle disaster. 6. Differin. Halfway through, and here's what you need to understand. Every single scam we've covered exploits the same biological vulnerability: your postmenopausal skin changes. The industry knows exactly what you need, and they're deliberately not giving it to you. $10 for a powerful third-generation retinoid sounds like a miracle, until dermatologists see what happens when you apply acne gel to 60-year-old skin. The ingredient is real. The vehicle is catastrophic. Differin 0.1% adapalene gel costs $10.11, and adapalene is genuinely powerful, a third-generation retinoid originally developed for treating inflammatory acne in teenagers with oily, resilient skin. Here's the shocking part. Adapalene is actually one of the most powerful retinoids you can get without a prescription. The tragedy isn't the ingredient, it's that the delivery system was engineered for teenage acne, not mature skin. The disaster is the gel-based vehicle designed for skin that produces excess sebum. Women over 60 experience dramatic decreases in natural lipid production after menopause, sometimes dropping by 40% or more. When you apply gel to lipid-depleted skin, it evaporates rapidly and pulls moisture from surrounding tissue, creating acute dehydration and triggering intense inflammatory response. The irony is devastating. You're using a powerful anti-aging ingredient, but the delivery system causes inflammation and dehydration that worsen the appearance of wrinkles. $10.11 for a potent active in a catastrophically wrong vehicle. Elizabeth Arden designed these capsules for exactly what Differin destroys: the lipid-depleted skin of women in their 7th decade. Hydroxypinacolone, retinoate, skips the irritating conversion steps, while ceramides and oils provide the emollient to support mature skin demands. Elizabeth Arden Retinol plus hydroxypinacolone retinoate. Ceramide capsules cost $53.20, and the formulation specifically counteracts the dryness that defines aging skin. The star ingredient is hydroxypinacolone retinoate, abbreviated as HPR, a next-generation retinoid that binds directly to retinoic acid receptors without requiring the multi-step conversion process that generates irritation. This direct binding means HPR is approximately 10 times more potent than pure retinol, while remaining gentle enough for daily use. Each capsule contains nourishing oils and ceramides that provide the emollient cushion your skin stopped producing naturally. Where gel formulations pull moisture away, these oils replenish it. Where adapalene triggers inflammatory dehydration, HPR delivers cellular signals without the inflammatory cascade. This is what appropriate retinoid delivery looks like for women whose skin has fundamentally changed. $53.20 for potency without the dehydration disaster. If you know someone still using Differin gel or another wrong vehicle, share this video. You could save their skin from years of damage. 7. Augustinus Bader. $300 rests on a proprietary TFC8 complex that sounds revolutionary. But when independent scientists looked for large-scale peer-reviewed studies validating TFC8, they found something disturbing: nothing. Augustinus Bader. The rich cream costs $300 for 50 milliliters, justified entirely by a proprietary complex called Trigger Factor Complex 8, abbreviated as TFC8. The marketing describes this as a patented blend of amino acids, vitamins, and synthesized molecules that supposedly activate your skin's innate repair mechanisms. The problem emerges when dermatologists search for independent validation. The available data consists almost entirely of in-house consumer perception trials conducted by the company itself. There are no large-scale peer-reviewed clinical trials in dermatology journals. No independent researchers verifying that TFC8 delivers the structural transformation it promises. What you're receiving is a reverse emulsion that feels luxurious but lacks the clinically established collagen-building power of medical-grade retinoids. For women over 60 paying $300, you deserve ingredients with decades of published evidence, not proprietary complexes, validated only by the company selling them. This is texture masquerading as treatment. For women whose skin is too sensitive for any form of vitamin A, Bakuchiol is the evidence-based alternative that dermatologists actually studied. It decreases wrinkle surface area and hyperpigmentation with zero scaling or stinging. Medicate Bakuchiol peptides costs $55 for 30 milliliters, representing a fundamentally different approach for women over 60 whose compromised skin barriers cannot tolerate traditional retinoids. Bakuchiol is a plant-derived compound extracted from the babchi plant. And unlike the phytoretinol marketing theater we'll expose shortly, Bakuchiol has legitimate clinical studies published in peer-reviewed dermatology journals. The research shows that 1.25% Bakuchiol produces results comparable to retinol in reducing wrinkle depth and evening out hyperpigmentation, with zero reports of scaling, stinging, or inflammatory response. If you've given up on retinoids because your skin couldn't handle the irritation, this is your answer. You're not too sensitive for anti-aging. You just need a different pathway. The serum includes Centella asiatica, with documented wound healing properties, and brightening peptides that address the uneven tone many women develop as melanocyte activity becomes irregular. This isn't ideology, replacing efficacy. This is clinical validation, providing a genuine alternative for women who need collagen support but cannot tolerate vitamin A derivatives. $55 for evidence-based results without the irritation. But here's what the industry really doesn't want you to know. One of these scams is sold at every major retailer, and you probably have it in your bathroom right now. 8. The ordinary $14 seems smart until you understand what happens inside that dropper bottle. Every time you remove the pipette, you're flooding the entire formula with oxygen and light. And retinol becomes inert in days, not months. The ordinary retinol 1% in squalane costs $14 for 30 milliliters, and that temptingly low price masks a fatal packaging flaw. Retinol is notoriously unstable, one of the most oxidation-prone activities in skincare. The dropper bottle design means that every time you unscrew the cap and pull out the pipette, you're exposing the entire bottle's contents to oxygen and ambient light. This is chemical degradation in real time. The oxidation timeline is measured in days or weeks, not months. You'll notice the warning signs. The clear liquid starts turning orange, then amber, eventually becoming cloudy as the retinol molecules break down. The dangerous irony is that degraded retinol often becomes more irritating, even as it loses therapeutic effectiveness. $14 for a budget option that frequently causes retinol burns from oxidized actives. False economy perfected. Peach and Lily solved what the ordinary couldn't, keeping the most powerful non-prescription retinoid stable through RIQ technology. Plus, 0.3% ectoin prevents the inflammation that unstable formulas trigger. Peach and Lily retinol. For all renewing serum costs $55 for 30 milliliters, addressing both failures simultaneously: packaging, instability, and inflammatory response. The formula contains 0.1% retinol, the most powerful non-prescription retinoid available. Peach and Lily developed RIQ technology, a pigment-stable formulation system that keeps retinol active throughout the product's shelf life. The innovation that sets this apart for mature skin is 0.3% ectoin, an extremolite originally discovered in microorganisms living in extreme desert conditions. Ectoin protects cells from environmental stress and prevents the inflammatory cascade that potent retinoids often trigger. The formula includes heart leaf and perilla leaf extracts, both documented for anti-inflammatory and soothing properties. This is engineered specifically for women over 60 who need the strength of high-end retinoids with the safety net of anti-inflammatory protection. $55 for stable potency with inflammation prevention. 3 scams left, and they're the most cynical. One uses fake science, one weaponizes your fear of chemicals, and one costs more than some people's rent. 9. L'Oreal. Pro-retinol sounds advanced, cutting edge. But L'Oreal is betting you don't know that's marketing language for retinol palmitate, the weakest retinoid ester, requiring 3 conversion steps your 60-year-old skin can barely perform. L'Oreal Paris Revitalift. Anti-wrinkle face and neck moisturizer costs $20.99. And the company prominently features pro-retinol on the packaging, as if they've discovered some revolutionary advancement. They haven't. Pro-retinol is their branded name for retinol palmitate, the weakest known retinoid ester. This compound must undergo 3 separate enzymatic conversions before becoming retinoic acid, the form your skin cells recognize. Here's why that matters devastatingly. Enzymatic conversion efficiency declines significantly with age. Your skin's ability to perform these transformations diminishes as cellular metabolism slows. Studies demonstrate that retinol palmitate's conversion rate in mature skin is so poor that it's almost entirely ineffective for reversing deep wrinkles. Each conversion step represents a potential failure point. 3 sequential conversions mean 3 opportunities to stall. L'Oreal is selling low-efficacy ingredients to the demographic that needs potent activities most. $20.99 for a chemical your skin cannot efficiently convert. While L'Oreal struggles through 3 conversion steps, Shani Darden's cult favorite tackles aging from 2 angles at once. Encapsulated retinol for collagen support, plus lactic acid to clear the sallow surface accumulation that appears in your 60s. Shani Darden Retinol Reform costs $30 for 30 milliliters, and beauty editors consistently recommend this formula for mature skin because it addresses 2 distinct aging problems simultaneously. The encapsulated retinol penetrates into the dermis to signal fibroblasts, stimulating collagen production. But collagen support alone isn't enough when your epidermal turnover has extended from 28 days to 60 days or more, creating dead cell buildup on your skin's surface. This accumulation manifests as the sallow, dull complexion so many women notice in their 7th decade, a loss of luminosity that no amount of hydration can fix, because the problem isn't dryness, it's cellular congestion. The lactic acid gently dissolves the bonds holding dead cells to your surface, revealing fresher cells beneath, while the retinol works deeper to rebuild structure. $30 for a balanced solution that doesn't force you to choose between surface renewal and deep transformation. The final scam is the most insidious because it uses the language of safety and nature to sell you absolutely nothing. 10. True Botanicals. Phytoretinol and vitamin A. Booster on the label, but when scientists analyze what's inside, they find 0 vitamin A. True Botanicals is hijacking retinol's medical reputation to sell plant extracts that are chemically unrelated. True Botanicals, phytoretinol, vitamin A booster emerged during the clean beauty movement, positioning itself as a natural, gentle alternative to synthetic retinoids. The marketing capitalizes on growing consumer anxiety about chemical ingredients, suggesting plant-based formulations offer the same benefits without risks. The formula contains botanical extracts that may provide soothing or hydrating benefits, but these plant compounds do not follow the same biological pathways as retinol. They cannot bind to retinoic acid receptors in your skin cells, which means they cannot signal the genetic changes that increase collagen production, accelerate cell turnover, or rebuild structural proteins that collapse with age. The chemistry is fundamentally different. Calling this a retinol booster hijacks decades of medical research validating vitamin A derivatives. For women over 60 who need genuine collagen stimulation, this deception is particularly cruel. Your skin requires biological signals strong enough to overcome diminished cellular activity. Plant extracts may soothe, but they cannot rebuild. La Roche-Posay delivers what true Botanicals fakes: therapeutic 0.3% pure retinol, the maximum powerful dose recommended for beginners, and they buffer it with niacinamide to prevent the irritation that scares women away from retinoids. La Roche-Posay Pure Retinol Face Serum costs $44.99 for 30 milliliters, representing everything the clean beauty scam isn't. Transparent, clinically validated, genuinely effective. This serum uses 0.3% pure retinol, the maximum powerful dose recommended for beginners. What makes this formulation particularly intelligent is the strategic inclusion of niacinamide, also known as vitamin B3, medically recognized for its anti-inflammatory and barrier repair properties. While the retinol signals increased cell turnover and collagen production, the niacinamide simultaneously calms inflammatory response and strengthens the lipid barrier that menopause has compromised. This buffering effect means you can tolerate therapeutic concentrations that would otherwise cause redness, flaking, and sensitivity. The serum is hypoallergenic and formulated for sensitive skin that still requires powerhouse ingredients to address fine lines and accumulated sun damage. $44.99 for therapeutic efficacy with built-in anti-irritation protection. The truth about retinol. 10 scams exposed, and I know what you're feeling. Angry, betrayed, wondering if anything works. But here's what the industry desperately doesn't want you to discover. Every single scam had a validated alternative. You just saw 10 evidence-based products that dermatologists actually recommend. Effective retinoid therapy doesn't require luxury prices or marketing mythology. It requires stable packaging, appropriate concentrations, intelligent buffering, and delivery vehicles matched to your skin's current needs. Everything you need to rebuild collagen and address visible photoaging exists at accessible price points, backed by decades of research. The industry hopes you'll stay confused, intimidated by chemistry, seduced by origin stories. But you're not confused anymore. From $200 mineral oil to fake retinol, we've exposed how the beauty industry plays you. But now you're armed with 10 alternatives that actually deliver. No games, no markup, no BS. Your skin isn't the problem. Bad products are. If this saved you from another expensive mistake, hit subscribe. Every week, I bring you the truth about what works, what's worth it, and what's just hype. Style is knowing better. Let's keep that energy. See you next week.